Hey guys, welcome back to the Gamer Dad channel. My name is Austin and today we are here with Behind the Green Door, a text adventure by Fiddle Cipher. Now, this game was tagged under Pokemon. This is supposed to be some kind of wander around interactive Pokemon text game or something, and I'm really interested to see how exactly this turns into Pokemon based on what I am seeing on this first page. So, with that being said, let's hop right into it, guys.
It's around 9 o'clock on a crisp Saturday morning. You've just gotten back from your morning walk, heading upstairs. After a quick shower, you sit down at your keyboard, powering up the CRT monitor and sipping on your coffee as you settle in and start to write. After 45 minutes or so, you slow down and stop, out of ideas. Your gaze drifts to the boombox on the desk, giving you an idea. You smile. Music always helps you concentrate. The only question is, which band do you want to listen to?
I'm gonna click Led Zeppelin because I don't know. I don't really have an adjective after that. I didn't think anything through. I didn't think I'd get this far.
You grab your Led Zeppelin tape from the stack, putting it into the boombox, and getting back to writing as Communication Breakdown starts playing. Several hours later, around noon, you get hungry, deciding to go get something for lunch. What are you in the mood for?
I'm gonna go for a mac and cheese cup because I've got like a whole case of them and I've pretty much trained my children to eat them like it is some type of religious, you know. Oh my god, English has failed me today. English has failed me so bad. Like it's some kind of daily ritual or something. There we go. Thank you. The words have come to my mouth.
You walk down the steps, heading for the kitchen. Peering into the pantry, you spot the object of your desire, a Kraft mac and cheese cup. After preparing it, you have a steaming cup of cheesy deliciousness in your hands. The mouth-watering scent drifts up into your face. You lick your lips in anticipation. Where do you decide to enjoy your lunch?
I'm gonna go watch TV because you don't need to eat food in the bed.
You sit down at the faux leather couch in your living room, powering up the CRT television and putting on the news. Joshua, your Umbreon, curls up in your lap as the newscaster talks about whatever.
Okay, well, I found where the Pokemon ties in now.
After you've eaten your fill, you offer the last bit to Josh. Hey, Joshy, want the last bite of my mac and cheese? Josh nods eagerly. You smile, setting the cup down on the floor for him. He hops off the couch, sticking his muzzle into the cup and digging in. He wolfs down what's left, licking up the leftover cheese sauce and getting his face stuck in the cup. He growls angrily, trying to shake it off. You laugh, reaching over and giving him a hand. He licks your hand happily after you get the cup off, curling up in your lap. Just as you're about to go back upstairs and resume your work, the newscaster mentions an adoption event, catching your attention. Today at 2, a local Pokemon shelter is having an adoption event to find homes for Pokemon rescued from shiny breeders. Come on down if you're looking to adopt. Josh perks up, looking at you hopefully, and wagging his tail as his rings pulse excitedly. Do you return to your work or go to the adoption event?
I'm gonna go check it out because that really seems like where the game wants me to go, so I'm just gonna head on out.
You decide to check out the adoption, letting Josh tag along. Grabbing your car keys, you walk out to the parking lot, getting into your green Honda Accord wagon. Josh sits in the passenger seat, pulsing his rings to the beat as ginger root music drifts from the speakers. Around 15 minutes later, you pull into the shelter's parking lot. There are trainers everywhere, checking out the larger Pokemon inside, getting into their cars with their new Pokemon, and walking inside. You follow the crowd, heading inside. When you step through the front door, you spot the coolest looking Pidgeot racing right over to his enclosure. A shelter worker notices your excitement, coming right over. I see you're interested in our Pidgeot. His name is Jay. You nod, admiring Jay's beautiful plumage. Would you like to meet him? The worker asks. Yes, I'd love that, you respond. Alrighty then, your Umbreon can go too, as long as he's friendly. You nod again. Oh yeah, Josh is super friendly, you say. Josh nods, wagging his tail happily. The shelter worker smiles, unlocking the door and ushering you through, closing it behind you. Jay comes right over to check you and Josh out, perching on your head and bending over to look you in the eye. He shuffles around, making a nest in your hair. After relaxing on your head for a while, Jay takes flight, circling for a moment before landing on the floor next to Josh. The Pidgeot leans in, examining him for a moment before booping Josh's nose with his beak. Josh smiles, licking Jay happily. Jay responds in kind, bending down and starting to preen Josh's fur. 20 minutes later, the employee comes back. So, want to take him home? She asks. You nod. Great, let's get the paperwork out of the way. She beams, leading you to an office. Shortly after, Jay is in the car with you, hanging out with Josh in the back seat. When you get home, Jay flutters around the apartment, meeting the rest of your team and exploring his new home.
Oh. Well, apparently that was all for that. Let's try to stay home.
Josh's rings dim and his ears droop sadly as you turn off the TV and go back upstairs. You settle down at your desk again, getting back into the groove and managing to write several pages. As the sun starts to set, you can't shake the nagging feeling that you should have gone to the adoption event. Later, you've managed to write quite a bit, nearly 3 whole pages. You lean back in your chair, smiling as you admire your work. Suddenly, something hits your back. You gasp as you start to shrink, quickly losing height. When you stop shrinking, you're about 3 inches tall. A noise behind you makes you turn around, your eyes going wide as you see a blank reaching for you.
Oh, okay. Go with brown furred paw.
Ellie grabs you, squeezing you against her chest playfully. The EEVEE purrs as she loves on you, picking you up in her jaws and carrying you off to her bed. She drops you onto the soft surface, curling around you before you can get away. After cuddling you for a while, she gets hungry, running her tongue over her lips as she eyes you. You bolt, but you don't make it far before she snags your shirt collar with a paw, yanking you towards her. She dangles you above her maw, wiggling her tongue at you playfully. Then, she drops you, snapping her jaws shut as you land on her tongue. You nearly slide right into her gullet from the momentum, just barely managing to grab onto her uvula. She smirks, swallowing as hard as she can, and sending a wave of drool washing over you. You lose your grip on the fleshy appendage, sloshing into her throat.
This gets getting a little weird here. Not gonna lie.
The walls of her gullet squish you down towards her tummy as she swallows, grinning the whole time. You splash down into a pool of steaming gastric juice and stomach slime, the organ gurgling happily as it recognizes the snack that just dropped in.
I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna struggle like crazy. This is getting very, very weird. I really wasn't expecting all this. This wasn't even under horror. What the heck?
You struggle with all your might, kicking and pushing against the slimy stomach walls as hard as you can. The belly groans, squeezing around you as the entire organ lurches. Instead of forcing you back up her throat, air rushes out, resulting in a drawn-out belch from Ellie. She pats her tummy as you slump over, passing out shortly after due to lack of oxygen. She gulps down a reviver seat after that, making sure you won't be going for good. The EEVEE smiles as she feels you go still, trotting into the living room as her digestive system gets to work, breaking you down into a nutritious soup. She curls up on the living room rug, relaxing in a patch of sunshine as her belly grinds you down into chime. Later, she wakes up, stretching and yawning. The sun is setting as she coughs up the seed in the kitchen, watching as it lights up with a blindingly bright white glow. When the light fades, you're standing where the seed was, back to normal size. Ellie purrs, rubbing her head against your leg as you get to your feet.
Hooray. So, this makes it sound like this is just a normal, everyday thing. Like, you got shrunk down, your Pokemon you ate a reviver seed, went and took a nap, and then puked up the seed, and you just flashed back into existence. What the This wasn't even horror. What the heck? This was just tagged Pokemon, guys. What? Can I relax? What happens if I relax? You sigh, snuggling against the slick, spongy wall as her belly fills with gastric juice. Okay, that's the same. That's the same. Oh, that's the same, except now you pick her up, carrying her to the sofa, setting her down in your lap, and turning on the TV. Okay. What happens if it's a vine? Vine quickly wraps around you, dragging you out of your room as you squirm. You already know who the vine belongs to. Mint, your leafy yawn. Sure enough, the grass type slinks toward you, using his vine to dangle you above his maw teasingly. Arceus, Mint, you scared me. Just ask next time you feel like snacking on me, okay? You sigh. Mint smiles sheepishly, nodding as the vine loosens, dropping you into his maw. You land on his tongue with a splat, happily rolling around in his maw to help spread your flavor. Mint starts to purr, soaking you in saliva as he drools. His belly growls hungrily below you, calling out to be filled. The two of you don't keep his gut waiting for long. You eagerly work your way to his gullet, peeking over his tongue and getting a glimpse of the dark, slimy, pulsing pathway to his tummy. Mint senses your eagerness, grinning as he licks you one last time. He tilts his head back, lining you up with his gullet and lifting his tongue. Glurk. Mint swallows, grinning. Oops. As you slip down his neck, splash into his tummy, you slosh over the wall, rubbing your hands across it in small circles, smiling as you hear your leafy pal purring. Your gastric confines slosh about as Mint starts to walk somewhere, padding along for a short while before stopping. You hang on tight while you feel him tense up, and a moment later he jumps, landing expertly on your desk. Leafeon heads straight for your unfinished lunch, licking his lips, digging in. Barely have time to get out of the way as clumps of mac and cheese plop down into his belly, quickly filling most of the space with warm noodles. His tummy groans happily when it senses food, secreting gastric juice and starting to churn. Even though his belly is quite active now, you're not worried. You know that his asses are too weak to harm you. After polishing off your lunch, Mint hops down from your desk, heading to the living room, relaxing on the couch. You snuggle against the wall, relaxing as you listen to the sound of Mint's body at work around you, the dull thump of his heart pumping blood, the whoosh of his lungs, and of course the gurgling of the digestive system that melts down the food he ate with you. As grass-side relaxing in the sun, Joshua shows up. The Umbreon joins his father on the sofa, snuggling up to him happily. Mint purrs, wrapping his paws around his son and hugging him tightly. Josh catches your scent on his father's breath, giving him a knowing smile. Mint grins back sheepishly, purring louder as Josh starts to rub his belly, sloshing you around with what's left of the berries and noodles. What? Okay, so it's just normal for you to get eaten by your Pokemon. These Pokemon just actively act like this is just normal. They act like they are more humanoid than normal animals. Of course, I've seen that multiple times in actual Pokemon anime as well as multiple different games, but to this level is a little bit creepy. The fact that you just are okay with your Pokemon actively just eating you, multiple different Pokemon eating you in different ways, that's just kind of weird. But at the same time, if Pokemon were real in real life, I don't doubt that you would have at least probably a few dozen of these types of weirdos just in the country I live in alone. But yeah, this was a very interesting spin on things. If the developer ever watches this, I would recommend honestly adding the horror tag on itch.io. A couple parts of this are a little nasty, I guess would be the best way to describe. And I guess the detail of it kind of seems to describe a somewhat gory scene, which can be off-putting to a lot of younger viewers, or not viewers, but players. And so I think maybe add a horror tag for this game. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe for more, ring that bell so that you know anytime that I post videos. Be warned, I might sometimes post like 3-4 in a day. Sometimes I just really love doing this. Leave a recommendation in the comment section for any games that you guys might want to see me play, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.